You're listening to Potty Mouth Radio, the home of movies, music, television, and comedy. This podcast is filmed in front of a live studio audience and contains coarse language. Could it be any more spoilery about a 25-year-old sitcom? Hello everybody and welcome back to the one where we watched a Friends rewatch podcast, where this week we watched The One with the Butt. How you going, Nosk?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah?
Yeah, you woke me up a bit there with that wild intro.
Too much gusto?
Too much energy for me.
Well, The One with the Butt is the 6th episode of the TV series Friends. It aired on October 27, 1994, and it was written by Adam Chase and Ira Ungerleider. And this week, Nosk, it's your turn.
Ungerleider?
Yeah.
What a name.
Yeah. This week, it is your turn to give us the synopsis in 30 seconds.
Okay.
How are you feeling about it? You reckon you can do this one? We've gotten better at it.
Yeah. No.
All right. Well, too bad, because you're doing it. On your marks, get set, go.
Okay. They're all at a theatre to see Joey's new play. They're talking about how terrible it is. Play happens. Chandler sees a beautiful woman in the audience that he can't possibly talk to, and they convince him to do so. It turns out she has other men on the side, and he has to deal with that. And at this play, Joey gets signed up with an agent, and he has to be Al Pacino's butt. Monica's a kook.
What'd you say?
Monica's a kook. She can be a kook.
I'm going to count that. I think you pretty much covered everything there.
Not very well, but yeah, okay.
All right, well, let's get into it. So last episode, we spoke about the cold opens for the show, which famously to this point we were saying were very much unrelated to the episodes. I thought it was going to be much later. This is the first cold open we have that is really just part of the episode proper.
Yep. And like maybe it was to save time within the episode.
Possibly, yeah.
Because you get Joey's play done and out of the way by the time the credits roll.
Yeah.
And it's terrible. Oh my God. I just love them all sitting there and Rachel's like, oh, this is so exciting. And everyone's like, you have no idea what you're in
no
for.
fear, no sense of impending doom.
Yeah, because we've all had to be somewhere where you're like, okay, I've got to support this friend. I've got to tell them it was good.
Yeah, and especially
really bad
theatre. You and I have had to sit through many amateur theatre shows
many.
because both of our families have been involved in it over the years.
Yes.
I love
some better than others.
Phoebe's the exclamation point in the title scares me. Freud.
It would scare me too.
But yeah, it was a bit triggering for me because it was very much like watching amateur theatre.
Yes. And the cycle continues because now our daughter does drama. Yeah. So we are just locked into this loop forever.
You know what, though? I would watch this play.
Oh, my God.
Joey is the Freud the musical. All you want is a dingle.
But you envy the shrine. Oh, my God.
It was funny. It was very funny.
Yeah, yep. And then I really appreciate that them standing up and clapping is used as the claps in the titles, like the opening credits for this season. It's a full circle moment. I like that.
So then after the opening credits, we're back at the play, but it's finished. And
it was terrible.
Chandler is trying to point out an attractive woman to Ross.
Yeah, that was a weird cut though. So Rachel is talking about how it was terrible. And it's sort of a wider shot of the 5 of them waiting for Joey to come out.
Yeah.
And then we zoom right in on Chandler. And I get that he's meant to be looking off into the distance and he's doing this whole, it's like used in every 90s, 80s, 2000s film where a guy sees a pretty woman and he's like, whoa. But because we've zoomed so closely in on him and Rachel was the one talking, it's almost like he's looking at her.
I didn't notice.
No, I don't know. I'm really picking at things here, but it's weird.
Now, look, if I said to you something was at 10 o'clock, you'd know what I meant, right?
Yeah. I mean, they kind of cover it in the fact that Ross is barely listening to Chandler at first. Anyway.
Like, it feels like 2 a.m.
Yeah, which is another hilarious line about what they've just witnessed.
Yeah.
But I love the then he's like at 8, 9, 10
o'clock.
o'clock.
Yeah.
And he does it with his arm. Oh, I have to do that all the time as a dance teacher. I'm like, okay, so we're here and everyone's going to turn 1, 2.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's not a dance teacher, but I thought it was cute.
Yeah. So he's seen this beautiful woman at 10 o'clock that he wants to go chat with, and everyone's trying to encourage him to talk to her because he doesn't want to.
Yeah.
And
well, he wants to, but he knows that he has no confidence
but
to do so.
that's where my absolute favorite thing. It's so funny. It's such a funny line, and again, it's so true. We all do this with our groups of friends. When Phoebe is trying to encourage him, and she's like, "Come on, you know how all the time you see these really beautiful women with these nothing guys? You could be one of those guys."
Yeah, and that's the turning point. The group have been trying to convince him. That's the kicker. He's like, I could be one of those guys.
Yeah.
Can we all just talk about how Phoebe's the best again?
Yeah.
I love as well, though, that we have friends like this where we will be like, what if you just like said, hey, do you want to get a coffee?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I could never do that. No.
Yeah.
And I mean,
I wouldn't.
No, you wouldn't.
No.
I have to chase you.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Can I say something that I'm sure is going to get me cancelled from the internet?
Okay, bye.
This woman's not very attractive.
What? My next point was going to be how attractive is she?
No way.
Are you insane?
Chandler is talking about her like she's like so stunning and the most beautiful woman he's ever seen.
She is.
She is not good looking. Like,
mate,
no.
She's got an accent.
Please.
She is beautiful.
No, doesn't do
Her
it for
hair.
me. Doesn't do it for me.
Oh my god. Like
4 out of 10.
What?
Yep.
What do you people want? What do you actually want?
I tell you what I don't want, and it's all that. Just not landing for me. I don't see it.
Yeah,
I just
okay,
like
I'm going to cancel you myself.
but
Fuck off.
like if he was just saying she was a pretty woman or something, that'd be fine. But the way he's talking about her as if she is the most attractive woman. She's not even the most attractive woman we've seen on Friends.
Firstly, maybe it's the most attractive woman for him yet in his life. Secondly, fuck off. She's very attractive. What do you people actually want?
Yeah. Okay.
Her hair, it's magnificent.
So anyway, while Chandler is chatting to her, the rest of the group are giving Joey their feedback on the play.
You were in a play.
I love that she just repeats that twice.
They all do. They all repeat their line.
The same thing.
Yeah.
And then Chandler comes over and just goes, "Awful play, man."
Yeah. Because him and Chandler are just that little bit closer.
Yeah.
And he can be like, okay, yep.
Yeah. And so Joey has been left a card from a talent agency who wants to book him.
Estelle!
Based on this play.
Yes. Yep, based on this play.
Based on this play.
Phoebe's wonderful. Yeah, but this is the first mention of Estelle. We don't hear her or see her in this episode.
Yeah.
But I do love that this is
Which is a shame. I kept waiting for Joey, it's Estelle.
Yeah, 100%. But that will come.
How was my Estelle voice, by the way? Was that better than my Janice?
Oh, you're way better than your Janice.
Okay, but
that's not hard.
But not as good as my Ray Romano. All right, got it.
Okay.
Okay, so then we're in the coffee shop. Third scene of the episode, finally, and we're in the coffee shop, which I think is the longest it's ever taken us to get to the coffee shop in this show. And Chandler comes in from his date, and the strangest thing in the world happens.
The strangest thing in the world?
Yeah, there's a crossfade.
Oh,
Monica asks him how his date was.
Yes.
And he starts talking about how great it was. And we crossfade into like his memory of the
Both you
date,
and I looked at each other like, ugh.
It's the most bizarre thing to see in Friends.
And can I just say, the echo that they put on his voice as well.
Yeah, because it becomes like narration as he's talking about the date, but we're seeing the date.
Yeah.
It's like, it's an old film technique,
they clean
but
that
it just
stuff up
feels
later.
out of place in Friends.
Yeah, it feels odd and strange.
Yeah. And his date is going on about all of these amazing, wonderful things she's done. She was in a war and she did this and that. And then he tries to think of an exciting story, and it's that he rode the subway.
Yeah. She wasn't in a war. She was an Israeli soldier. They all have to serve mandatory time. Gal Gadot is exactly the same, but it is mandatory.
I mean, okay, what would be your exciting story, though? You're talking to a person like this. They've been going on for hours about all these amazing things they do and have done, and they look to you. What would you have? Because I don't think Chandler's I Rode the Subway is all that bad.
All the way to Brooklyn. Wow. I mean, I know for people who live in Manhattan, that is a big deal, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. All my like wild, crazy adventures are with you. So why am I on this date? Have you died?
Maybe.
Oh, that's real sad.
Or maybe
I don't want to talk to people.
Maybe you're on a date even though we're still married, just like this woman is.
Yeah, right.
And then also has a boyfriend as well.
Yes. Good for her. She is getting
A bit
hers.
greedy. Leave some for the rest of us.
No.
But I do like though that then he tells the story. He gets to the point where she has not only a husband but also a boyfriend. And Monica says, "I'm sorry, it didn't work out." And he's like, "Didn't work out? Aren't you listening to the story?"
Yeah.
Like as if this is like the best thing ever.
Yes, except
It's every guy's fantasy, isn't it? Your fantasy, Ross.
so
No.
yeah, it's followed with a great line of no.
Yeah.
But then he changes his mind and says, "Yeah, it is." So I find that really inconsistent with Ross's character. He loves to get married. He does it all the time.
He does love getting married.
He likes to be in a relationship as well.
Yeah,
like
he
regardless
does.
of the
True.
marriage end of it.
That's true.
Like that's not what Ross would want.
I
But
don't- I mean-
because he's a man, he has to say it.
But no, but it's one of those things that I think all men inherently would be like, yeah, that's my fantasy, even though it's absolutely not. Like, it's not my fantasy.
Better
If someone
fucking not
asked,
be.
I'd probably be like, oh, yeah, for sure. Because like you said, it's what guys say. It's
No,
the same as
that's-
like, it's the
What?
same as Ross thinking how good a threesome would be. And then it actually happens and he's just standing there watching, not doing anything.
My part was over quite quickly.
Yeah.
No, I hate that. I think it's like more toxic masculinity where you have
Yeah.
to be like, oh, women, right?
Yeah.
No, I hate that shit.
And then Ross starts lecturing all of them, and they all start snoring, which is very funny. He's like, well, actually, there's a theory by Dr. Richard Leakey.
I actually hate in the I don't know if it's just it is the 90s in general, but the like almost it's not hatred, but almost hatred of anything cool and curious about the world, like science and academic.
Yeah. Well, that's
Like,
nerdy. That's for nerds.
Yeah, I hate that about Friends, and Friends do it a lot in relation to Ross's character.
Yeah.
But it's just so
You know what? I wonder
know.
if Richard Leakey is a real doctor who actually had a theory.
yeah, he is.
Is he?
Yes, he was an anthropologist.
You didn't know this before. You're Googling this as we speak, aren't you?
Yes.
I mean, even before you get to the theory, I just want to give credit where credit's due then. That's more than I expected from Friends. Like I know that more recent shows, like Scrubs brought in a medical expert to advise on the script and stuff. I did not expect Friends writers to actually be checking real theories that Ross could know about.
Yeah, it's because we know of their lack of like show Bible and continuity
Yeah.
and stuff. It is nice. It's refreshing sometimes to go, okay, well they actually put a bit of effort in. It's not straight up TV by numbers. Okay, so he had a theory that the earliest humans were also monogamous, but from what I can see, he didn't fully flesh out that theory. He just had a theory.
that makes it even more impressive to me that the Friends writers actually included that, because that doesn't
Yeah.
seem like it would be a very well known or talked about theory.
And it is a throwaway line, a completely
Yeah.
throwaway line that actually just could have been cut, and it's literally used so that they can all start snoring again.
Yeah.
But I
Yes.
want to know what the theory is. I'm like when he's talking about gas and they add the smell, and Phoebe's like, "What, Ross? What other things do they add smell to?" I'm like, "What do
Answer
they
the
add?"
question, Ross.
Yeah, can we talk about that more? Okay.
So then we're in the apartment and Rachel has cleaned, which I think this is probably the first time we've really seen this OCD side of Monica that
Yes.
becomes very kind of Flanderized in later seasons. But
And that's so cute. She's so proud of herself. She's like, "I cleaned."
yeah, but then Monica is kind of a bitch. She's like, "Oh, I see the The poof moved. How did that happen?
The ottoman.
That's interesting.
Or the footstool, or whatever it's called.
Oh, yeah. Did they not use the word poof over
I
there?
don't think so.
Is that just an us thing?
Do you remember when your aunties first got a poof of plenty, which was a
Yeah.
like a footstool that opened up?
Yeah.
And that's where the snacks were.
Yeah. Everyone loves a poof.
Don't say that. Jesus.
Chandler's, oh, well, at least you didn't try and, move this. She'll just scratch your eyes right out.
No, my favourite bit is Phoebe describing Monica with
Yes. Yep.
like the sort of psycho killer
Because
music.
once again, Phoebe, MVP of the show, she tells it how it is.
Yeah. Yep.
She's like, you're awful, Monica. Remember when I lived with you?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
She loves them dearly, but she acknowledges that they have flaws, a bit like Joey does in seasons to come. And I don't think they have flanderized Monica just yet in this episode. They start to touch on it a little bit, like, I can be a kook. And I love how Ross playfully teases her here. For once, they're not being creepy together.
Yeah.
Maybe is this the first episode where they haven't been creepy together?
Maybe.
Might be.
Yeah, and Ross is teasing her. It's like, okay, imagine for a moment that you buy the fabric softener without the easy pour spout.
No, that's what Rachel says.
Right.
He's the one who suggests not paying your phone bill right away and waiting for a reminder.
Why would I do that?
Yeah.
You know what, though? This is another thing that dates this show, and it takes us back to a simpler time. Because somebody like Monica today, they wouldn't care about the easy pour spout because not a chance would they be leaving the laundry powder in the box it comes in.
They would be a TikTok.
They'd be a TikTok restocker. They'd be buying
a TikToker restocker.
Yeah, they would have like a container for everything, and
a
once
pretty
a week,
label
they
on
would
it.
restock everything. Yeah. I just thought that was fascinating that they were concerned about the easy pour spout on because even us, we're not TikTok restockers.
No,
we put our laundry powder into a different container though.
Yeah, and even paying your bill, like the internet helped with that. Easy Pay, like where you just let them deduct it from your account over sort of split payments, or should probably have something like that set up.
Yeah, and then Ross gives her the real kicker though, which is Monica, your mum.
That is such a low fucking blow.
Is there anyone worse for you to be compared to than your own parent?
Nope. I don't know. It's like, obviously if someone compares you to Hitler, like that's fucking terrible. But I assume like you're just a person who doesn't care about other people's opinions then.
Yeah.
When someone truly knows you, as a sibling does, and then says you're like ex-parent, oh my God. Low blow.
Yep. Then Joey comes in and he's very excited because although we did not get to meet Estelle, he did. And she's got him a part in a movie with Al Pacino.
Yes. And they all lose their mind for him. They're so happy for him, which of course, like they would be.
Did you hear what Phoebe yelled out? I had to take it back. So I was like, wow, really? Did you hear it?
Yeah. I noticed you took it back. What was it for?
She yells out, kick ass, like 3 times in a row.
Oh.
And I'm like, wow. Then, I haven't heard the phrase kick ass in a long time.
Oh, I still use it sometimes. Like you totally kicked ass at that.
Yeah, I feel like that's different to just saying kick ass as its own, like in a phrase.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know if you remember, this was probably just an Australian thing. When we were in high school, the big rage was mad ass. Like,
mad
dude,
ass.
that is mad ass.
That was like the highest compliment.
But Joey just gets to be a butt double in the film, which has a very long string of jokes where they're just making butt jokes.
I love when the friends...
But you've cracked your way in.
Yeah, they do this again several times, including when Ross is dating Elizabeth, his student.
Yes, yeah.
I love when they all like pile on.
With puns,
Yeah.
You have to invite us to the big opening.
Yes, because let's face it, that's what you do with your group
But
of
you know what,
friends.
I'm going to say something. I think these jokes are too subtle.
What?
Yeah.
No.
I think this is a rare example
Everyone
of Friends.
knows crack butt opening.
I think
hole.
big opening
Yes.
in particular is too subtle. I think that this is a rare example of Friends where if you took out that laugh track so that we weren't in with them knowing it's a joke, I don't think it lands. I don't think it lands as a butt joke.
That's such a load of shit. What? No.
Yeah.
They're all laughing at their jokes too.
I know.
And they're
I know.
piling on. That's...
But I personally,
see-
I don't read big opening as a butt joke.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
Didn't land for me.
Oh, all
A
right.
rare misstep in the
Yes.
Friends history.
You should write to them.
Yeah.
Yep.
So then later on, we're back at the apartment, and Joey runs in asking Monica for some moisturizer for his butt.
Oh, yeah.
I think this is the funniest scene in the episode for me.
Oh, see, okay. So he says, I need some moisturizer for my butt. She goes, okay, use whatever you want and
Yeah.
never tell me what you did in there. And then Chandler comes in and he's like, it's fine, we're roommates. And he's like, my eyes, my eyes.
Yeah.
So I love the my eyes because
Yes.
it's
Call back to Phoebe.
well, it's an homage to
Yes.
yeah, my eyes, even though they don't know it yet. But I actually had a little bit of a problem with this scene.
Why?
There is no way in hell ever Monica would say, use whatever you want and just don't tell me. No one with OCD like her,
No,
like she does,
no.
wants
But
to think
she's
this has been on my friend's butt.
No,
she would
she's
just
a
let him
supportive
keep it.
friend.
No, I'm not saying she's not supportive. She would say, use whatever you want and take it home with you.
No way. It's not like it's roll-on deodorant where he rubs it all over his butt and puts it back. You squirt it into your hands and rub it on your butt. It's not...
Not all moisturizers are squirts, you fucking heathen.
What
Sometimes they're, pots with a lid. And you have to dip your fingers in, rub it on, dip your fingers again.
So you got a double dip.
You got a double dip, and I would not want that back. Yuck.
There's no kind of applicator?
Sometimes there is, sometimes there isn't.
Yeah, okay, maybe that changes things.
and okay, so my next issue, I don't care how close you are as roommates, husband and wife even. If you're in the bathroom doing something unknown, I'm not like, it's fine, we're roommates. It's fine, we're husband and wife, and I'm just walking on in.
Yeah, because the truth is, what did Chandler think he was doing? Did he think he was taking a dump or something, and that would somehow be better to walk in on?
I don't know.
I know what you mean. It's like, what could he have possibly been doing in there that
yes, it's
you would
poor
be okay
writing.
with?
It's just setting him up for my eyes.
Yeah, but the payoff is funny enough that I'm all right with it.
No, it should be written much more cleverly than that.
Yeah. So then Chandler, the reason he's come over apart from to tell Joey the message is to grab some food from Monica's place because he's cooking breakfast for his mistress. And
his girlfriend.
Here's what I find really strange. He's not just taking food. He takes a pan. Does he not have a pan?
Well, again, consistency issue. Like, later we find out Chandler always made Joey's girlfriend's pancakes in the morning while he leaves Chandler to deal with the aftermath. I don't know. I think it's a bit of that kind of like the physical acting of him having to pile stuff up into his arms.
Yeah.
Hey, Monica, can you get the door? Like, it is. It's silly. Of course he wouldn't need a pan.
So then we see Joey on the film set filming the scene and just being referred to as, hey, butt guy.
And I think it's really sweet how earnest he is. This is not something we see later when he is a Days of Our Lives star. He takes it really seriously and very appreciative.
Again, that's interesting. That's what you read out of it.
What?
I read that he was just nervous about his butt looking good. And that's why he was like clenching and stuff.
No, yeah. Later about that, but he's also trying really hard. He's trying to impress them, and this is a big opportunity for him. And let's face it, connections in the industry are everything, probably, like any industry. But him saying like, hey, I just want to say thank you and appreciate this opportunity, and they're like, just turn around.
Just turn around, butt guy.
Like, yeah. Well, it's not something we see much later in Joey as an actor.
Yeah.
And then the next scene, of course, is Chandler in the bedroom in what is some of the worst lighting I've ever seen.
I didn't hate it. Like, it's obviously fake, but they're going for that kind of dusk look. Like,
they've been making
sunset.
love all day.
Yeah.
And now she's heading out to see another boyfriend. A different one.
And is this the first time we've seen Chandler's room?
Yeah, and it's not his room.
What makes you say that?
I turned to you and I was like, well, that's not his room.
From what we see later.
Yeah, from what we see later of his room, and then remember Rachel stays in it too.
Yes.
It's totally different set.
Yeah.
And really enormous and big. Like, it's already unrealistic how big their apartments are, given apparently how poor they all are.
Yeah.
It's a crock of shit. His bedroom is nearly the size of their living room.
Yeah.
And lots of posters. In fact,
he's got It's a Wonderful Life poster
which we
on the
have.
wall. Yeah.
we were like, look at that. It's right here in this room.
And
so I guess the rest of the dressing of their apartment has been done by Chandler.
Yes,
that's been a
that
topic.
tracks.
That tracks. For once, something tracks.
I know that you don't like soppy Chandler.
Oh,
So how are you at the start of this scene when he's like, I love these fingers and...
No. Like, I don't mind it. Because then he makes a joke. Oh, I was actually talking about mine. Like, that's the level of sappy Chandler I can handle. It's more later, usually, to be honest, with Monica, that I just...
Yeah.
I don't know. It, like, grates against my soul.
Yeah.
And him sort of being disappointed with this arrangement, and ultimately in this scene they break up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like he underplays it nicely. It's not too over the top.
Yeah. And when he's breaking up with her, he's like, most women would kill for three guys like us. I like it. Friends does this a couple of times where he kind of forms this relationship with these other people that he hasn't even met.
Yeah, it's cute.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I really like the sort of treatment of this character in this series because, it's the early 90s and women are very much frowned upon having more than one partner, probably still very much are. But I don't know, she's just kind of seen as this cool, aloof person and she's all right with her life. Like,
I think that I think a little bit of it is that she's not American, she's foreign, and so she's allowed to be a little bit more
she's alluring,
sexual and exotic and stuff.
Yeah, right.
I think if this was an American character, I don't think we would have seen it on network television.
Yeah, possibly. I found it really interesting. Friends had only just finished when we had this conversation with a friend, but he moved to New York. I think we'd all maybe just gotten smartphones at this point.
Yeah.
It was very early days. And he was saying that, like, in New York, the dating environment is cutthroat. Yeah. And I don't know if it was like that maybe 10 years previous when Friends had started, but they certainly don't portray that much in the show compared to, say, shows like Sex and the City, which came just that tiny bit after.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you're right. I think it's the exoticness of her.
Yeah.
She's allowed to get away with it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, all right. Well, that annoys me now.
And then we're back in Monica's apartment and everything is kind of fallen apart for everyone. Chandler has... but... at least it's pointed out, hey, you dumped her.
Yeah, yes. But then,
so it's kind of treated as a win for him.
Yeah, well, he's trying to see it that way and help his friend. And then he gets so lost in his own train of thought. He's like, wait, what? Why did you break up with her? Like, you had it perfect because, men don't want to have to deal with women.
And Joey got fired and Ross calls him big guy.
Yeah. And I love that immediately Chandler's like, big guy? What?
Yeah,
it felt like a big guy moment.
Like a big guy moment.
Because it's so yuck. It's so weird.
And Joey's really upset because, he's not going to be the butt. And everyone's telling him it doesn't matter. Like, no one will know. And he says, well, my mum will. But... yeah.
Which is creepy, and Chandler is right to point that out. I don't know, I just love, like, Monica starts by saying, well, maybe you don't get one shot, and then Phoebe is like, no, this isn't it for you. I see you.
Yeah, I was just gonna say,
once again, Phoebes.
Yeah, you've definitely
MVP.
turned me. Here are episode 6, and she is my favorite, and she is the best friend.
What she says is so sweet.
She says big things are gonna happen for you. One day there's gonna be a kid out there who's gonna be all excited, telling his friends, "I got to be Joey Tribbiani's ass."
Yeah.
And it's very sweet, and she
she delivers it really well too.
Yeah.
I just want to hug Phoebes.
Yeah. And then the button on the scene is that Monica goes to bed and leaves her shoes out there because she's a kook.
She's a kook. Yes, and we see her lying in bed being like, you could just go get them. If it bothers you so much, just go get them. No, then they'll know. So then she decides, I'll go get them, and then I'll get up early after I've gone to sleep and put them back.
Yeah.
And that's,
we've all done something like that.
Oh, 100%. Like when I hang... do you do this too? When I hang out washing, I love when the pegs match the clothes. But regardless of the pegs matching the clothes, the pegs have to match each other. Because we have 4 colours of pegs.
Yeah, you don't use mix... Yeah.
No.
2 orange pegs for 1 shirt.
Well, no. 2 orange pegs for a heavy item.
Yeah, pants or sweaters.
Yeah, or cows. And then, like, matching colours for everything else. Yeah. And then the wooden pegs are left.
I hate the wooden pegs. I leave them until the end.
Yeah, they're a last resort peg.
Yeah.
Like, who do you think you are?
We're elderly now. We're those people who have a favourite stovetop.
Oh, God,
yeah.
Yeah. And I never use anything else.
Yeah. Why would you?
No.
All right, so... Did you enjoy this episode?
I did. I did enjoy it. For me, the highlight of the episode is, Phoebe at the end saying, one day a kid will be excited to be Joey Tribbiani's ass.
Yeah.
It's not my most favourite episode ever, but, I like it.
It's my least favourite of the ones we've watched so far on this rewatch. Yeah.
It's not worse than the pilot.
I think it is.
Hard to say.
It's a fine episode.
Yeah.
But I feel like the pacing was a bit off. Yeah. Everything happens very quickly. Joey's storyline with the butt, we actually get like one scene of. Mostly we're focused on Chandler and his girlfriend, and I actually don't really love that storyline.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I do, because we get to see a little bit more of Chandler.
Yeah.
There's not enough Phoebes. Phoebes doesn't get her own storyline.
Yeah. So I'm a 6 out of 10 for this episode.
Oh, okay. I mean, I'm harsher than you. I'm a 5.
Oh,
I like it. It's fine. It's just an average Friends episode.
Yeah.
It's not one of the better ones. It's not one of the worst ones.
Speaking of being average, which you so clearly are at lightning rounds, shall we partake in a lightning round?
We are tied, so piss off.
All right. Your 1-point question. Oh my God, these are the easiest questions.
So are yours.
Yet.
So are yours.
Joey auditions to be the host of which new game show?
Fuck.
Oh my God.
No,
how
just give me a sec. Hang on. Let's play. I can hear it and I can see it. Bamboozled.
Yes, Bamboozled.
Sorry, in my head I had Boggled, which Boggle is a different game and an actual game. All right, your 1-point question. What does Joey wear to Monica and Chandler's wedding? Mate.
Oh, it's a Monica. I was thinking of Ross's wedding in England. He wears his army outfit from the movie that he's filming.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's got blood all over it. Fake blood.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, your 2-point question. Ross created a comic book character when he was a child called Science Boy. What was his superpower? Oh my goodness, you are stumped. No. I'm going to get back ahead here.
No, you're not. Science Boy. The power to learn?
I'm not going to count it. He has a superhuman thirst for knowledge.
Yeah, that's the same thing. Oh, that's embarrassing for me. I totally got that, though. We're still even. Because your superfan question is ridiculous. This is, like, one of the best episodes. What name does Ross give for the state of total awareness?
Oh, unagi.
Yeah, that's actually a type of soup. Yeah. Ooh, if we make reservations, we can have an unagi in about a half hour. Salmon skin roll. Sorry, now I'm just quoting different episodes.
Next week we are up to what my memory is telling me is my favourite episode of season 1. The one with the blackout.
With the blackout!
Pretty excited for that one.
Yep.
In the meantime, thank you all for listening. If you're enjoying the show, then please tell your friends. Give us a 5-star review on Apple and Spotify and all that good stuff. It really helps us out.
Tell your friends?
Yeah.
Get it?
Oh, yes. I see what you did there.
Because it's a friends show.
That's right. We need a fun sign-off. Maybe we should say, and we'll be there for you.
I hate that. What the fuck is that? Yuck.
Well, we'll catch you next week, everybody.
See you at the big opening.